Well, it is now end of July 2026 and it's summertime. It is hot, so I haven't done a lot of videos lately because I kind of fixed everything on my cars. They all four of them run good. The W124, the R129, the Lincoln, the Kia van. Basically right now we're just driving the Kia van pretty much because the price of gas. I'm in Southwest Riverside in Southern California, inland, about 30 miles as a crow flies to the Pacific Ocean. Camp Pendleton is over there, over those hills. But the price of gas is just insane. It costs right now about $100 to fill every single one of these cars up. That's insane. You know, I mean, I could understand maybe $60, but $100. So we're just driving the Kia van for now. Anyway, so today here's the W124. I'm going to take the cover off. Started. I haven't ran it in, I don't know, maybe 3 months. I just need to run it around. This is my son's car, and he stopped driving it when he quit his job about 2 years ago. Now he's got another job. He's driving my Kia. I think he wants to drive this car, but he's got to come up with money for registration, getting it smogged. It's probably about $300. So we'll see. I'm going to take the cover off and start it up. Finally I got the cover off. I can't believe it. That cover kept it pretty clean. I think it's been on there for about 6 months, but I mean, it's rained on it and everything, and you know, I expect to find a bunch of dirt underneath it. So my son just got home. There's the 2002 Kia. Gets pretty good gas mileage for, I think it's got like 200 horsepower, but it's 4,700 pounds. Pretty heavy. But it runs really good. Oh God, is it hot in here? Still looks the same. I've redone a lot on this car. Let's see if we can do this one-handed. I got tennis elbow, so it's not helping anything. All right, there it is. Yeah, still looks nice and clean. Coolant's up. I'm sure it has oil. Always disconnect the battery. This is the battery out of my SL. It was $145 in 2018. Yeah, 2018. I guess not that it's old, but it's, you know, starting to get a little bit of white stuff on the negative. I disconnect the battery, that way it keeps it charged, because there's always, not very many, but I'm sure there's a module in here that's always on. Do that. Bought a brand new paint sprayer to paint the house. $412. Graco. I think I got a quote to paint the house. It was something like $15,000 to paint the outside of the house. Give me a break. I figured I can do it for about $1,000. Okay, so it's a cold start. I don't know what the battery's at, but 11.7. It's probably at 12. because you through all this wiring you get a little loss. If you go measure the battery, it'll say 12. So I'm going to crank the key a couple times, pump it up, got a little bit of gas in there. Wow, that is a fast, that's a fast start. There was no, I just went boom. Sweet. And we'll measure the air conditioning. It still has the R12. Things I've done to this car, you know, I mean, it's in pretty good condition. I redid the headliner, you name it. You name it, I've done it to this car. They're all in my videos. I replaced the signal stock, had the whole steering wheel off, replaced the headlight switch. I've had this car for, when did we get it? I think maybe 2013. However the old that is. It's got 148,000 miles. I've been seeing these things. I saw 3 of them on Facebook Marketplace. This is in California. I mean, one of them had more mileage than this one. It was brown. It was going for 11 grand. You know, didn't say that head gasket replaced or anything. I've replaced 3 head gaskets in this car. Another one was going for 8,000. And then another one was going for 6,700, and that was an 87. I think it was a 2.6 liter. So the prices have gone up on these things, like, you know, like the price of everything else. Man, it's crazy. Anyways, yeah. If you're thinking of getting one of these, or you have one of these and you live in a hot climate, I would do that. What only thing this thing would need is what I'd like to do to keep it cool during extreme heats, you know, 90 degrees, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. These things will overheat. Some people say, oh, I drive in the Sahara Desert and it never overheats. I don't believe that, because you can see on the internet, on some of these Mercedes forums for these models, there are more overheating posts than anything else. I would put the 2 electric fans on the inside, the engine compartment, get rid of the fan clutch. Put the 2 electric fans with the relay, everything's controlled, you know, with sensors and all that stuff like that. But just like modern cars, like the Kia has that, the 2002, the Lincoln, the 2006, you know, all brand new cars, they don't have fan clutches in them. They've got the electric fans that just suck the heat out. Anyways. All right. Windows down, seat belt on. I got 13.6 volts. Did replace the alternator. I think the only thing I haven't replaced on this engine is the starter, power steering, pump. I think those are the only 2 parts. Pretty much everything else. Is that one of those electric Mustang Mach-E? I think we're all going to be driving electric cars pretty soon. Yeah, so we're doing okay. We got, oh man, yeah, the gas gauge is a little wonky on this because it's probably really low. I really should go by and put some gas in it, but you know. Runs okay though. This thing runs great. The price of Supreme is like over $6 a gallon for this thing, so you know. I'm just exercising the brakes. We did replace all the brake fluid, and it's got new discs in the front, new ceramic pads all the way around. It's got new tie rod ends, sway bar, steering and dampener. It's got the SACH, Shakazor, SACH. And I was going to replace them. I had one video where I was going to replace them, and I bought them. And I tested the old ones that I installed in, I don't know, probably 2015. And they were still good. So I put them back on. The only thing that was wrong is the bump stops on the top of the shock absorbers. You get these little foam things. Those things were deteriorated, and one was completely gone. So every time he would go in a dip, you'd hear a bang, you know, it'd be just kind of like a hard impact. That's what those bump stops are for. So I got new bump stops. Thing's fine. So the plan is, this thing needs its regular, let me roll the window up a little bit. In California, registration doesn't change the day that you get the car, and the DMV issues your registration. If it's on a December 14th, it'll always be on a December 14th to renew. So this thing needs to get the registration renewed. So if we renew it right now, what is it, July? It has to be smogged, emission testing, and so if you do it right now and you pay the $300 to get the registration and smog done, right? In December, you're gonna have to do it all over again. It's kind of a waste of money. So I think what we're gonna do is, like in October, either October or November, we'll get all that done, because the smog certificate is good for 90 days in California. I think that's the plan of action. And we'll get this thing back on the road. But yeah, Prius is an ugly back end on this garage. I've been researching those Priuses because I was thinking of getting a used one, you know, but oh my God. I mean, some of them go 400,000 or 500,000 miles, but they do have their own issues. And I joined a Prius forum. Man, every day people are complaining about this and that, you know. They blow head gaskets in the gas engine, the battery wears down. It's good for maybe 10 years. You know, pay attention, John, pay attention. And they have all kinds of weird issues with the engine, the water pumps, and I mean, just weird stuff. I don't want to get one, although there's some of these guys are getting 70 miles per gallon. You know, I mean, if the price of gas, I don't know if it's ever going to go down again. I think we're screwed. You know, right now in time, I mean, they've got the Strait of Hormuz. I call it the Strait of Hormel. They got the Strait of Hormel closed down. They're blowing ships up. There's problems on the other side. What is it? Is it the Red Sea? I don't know. Edge. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we just do what we're going to do. This thing runs pretty good. Okay, the gas gauge came back up. About a quarter tank. Probably should put some fresh gas in it. I think gas is a year old. Here's that Mustang. They moved it. Used to be parked here for years and years. There's another one. You can see all the spider webs. But that's a later one. I don't know, 96. It's not. I don't think it's not a W124. It's funny you can always tell the cars that are sitting because there's spider webs everywhere. Okay, so it's 92 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Got 13.5. We're gonna try this air conditioner. Oh, how do I do it? I think it's this. Our voltage went down to 12.8. I don't like that. What I think is happening is it's an old air conditioning compressor, original one, and it probably should be replaced. It's drawing a lot of volts. So now it says 12.3. Fan is on high. We're at about the 85 Celsius mark, which is a sweet spot. It's going down 73 degrees. 69. I should probably drive it around. See, they don't like sitting in traffic. You know, sitting in traffic when it's 92 degrees out, 100 degrees out. They just don't like it. You'll see this thing go up even though the entire cooling system has been replaced. Did the Mercedes acid flush to the block. Got to realize this is a 30-year-old car with 148,000 miles. You know, as far as I could tell, all the cooling passages in the block and in the head, everything is clear there. So now we're back up to 13, to 12.9. It should, you know, the voltage regulator, when it senses there's a draw, you know, air conditioning comes off, it should kick up the volts a little bit. But if you did that fan retrofit, you know, where it would always stay at the 85 to 90 Celsius mark, it would never go up. Once you get up above that 90 mark, it's the mark below the 120. That's when it's starting to get really hot. And you can easily blow a head gasket, especially when it gets near to that 120. That's when it blows a head gasket. So don't ever let it do that. Okay, let's do some driving. Yeah, that's the only thing this thing needs, at least for the climate here. You know, they have tropical fan clutches, so you can't really find them here. I look for those. But I would just like to make this thing a little more modern as far as a cooling system. And these were, I don't know, they were kind of like designed to be driven in Germany, where it's not supposed to get super hot, although this year everybody in Europe has had horrible temperatures, and right now there's forest fires everywhere. Okay, where's that kid gonna go? Clear, clear, go kid. Clear, clear, clear. Oh, I got a light out warning. Sometimes it's one of of those things that comes and goes. Wonder what light. It's not nighttime. It could be a, you know, signal light, or maybe a brake light or something like that. There we go. Let's test this. So now we're down to about 49 degrees, 47, 45, 43, 39, 37, 35 degrees coming, 30 degrees coming out of the vents, which is really good. I did a good job on that air conditioning, I don't know, 8 years ago. I took the whole dash, replaced all the pods, everything. Somebody had a stereo installer, whoever installed the stereo, disconnected right behind here, this climate control unit. They had messed the wiring up, and one of the wires that they had messed and put on the wrong pin was a wire for the auxiliary high-speed fan. And so the high-speed fan would never come on, and I didn't know that, you know. Finally, a viewer in Palm Springs noticed the colors of the wire were, you know, all the wires need to be pulled out and brought down and plugged in. Now that works, but I also installed, I bought a new wood panel here, sold the old one on eBay really cheap, but this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 openings. Then I just took a switch that had one of these switches that would work. This one right now, the high-speed fan is on, so you can turn that thing on when you've got the AC on, but it's also drawing voltage. You know, that's one thing, the voltage, all the wiring, all the grounds, everything is good. You know, it's just 30 years old, and sometimes you got to bypass stuff. Anyways, it's doing good. It gets colder when you drive. Yeah, it's about 48, 46, 45, 43, yeah, when the compressor's locked up and running. Why is this light out? I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, I made it back safely. It's now 94 degrees outside, and it's gonna keep going up a little bit, then it'll start going down. So this is basically your M103 W124 engine. Everything's good. I just got the you know, light bulb out. It's usually just light bulbs hardly ever burn out. It's usually the connections, you know, behind. Clean them up a little bit. Yeah, so you can see you've got the twin. This is a 92, so you got these two twin auxiliary fans. Low speed comes on when you turn the air conditioner on. Normal. When the thing's ready to blow a head gasket, the high speed comes on. And from what I understand, when I had this all apart, I don't know, a year or two ago, it's a coolant sensor located, I think it's like right in here somewhere, about the middle. It's a blue sensor. Some of these cars had the sensors like over here, you know, but it's a 2-pin blue sensor, and there's one of the wires from that sensor that goes through the firewall to that climate control unit. One thing is going to overheat. That blue wire sends a signal over to the relay box in the very back there, the fuse box. And there's, I forget, it's a K9 or a K10 relay. It'll say auxiliary high speed or something like that. And that goes down, sends a signal to this, I think that's a ballast resistor right here, ceramic. You can check those, make sure all that's clean. Everything's clean there. It exits that and turns these on high speed, you know. But yeah, I was really surprised that that coolant sensor for the high speed went in the dash to that unit there. It even shows it on the wiring diagram and does the, you know, thing, and goes over to the relay to turn these on. And I had that blue wire in the wrong pin. Whoever installed the stereo had messed up the wires. So yeah, so as far, you know, now it doesn't really go over the 90. I'm sure it would, you know. There's two things there. There's, I don't want to do another head gasket, so when we drive this thing again, I may get rid of that fan clutch and put either a single electric fan or a double electric fan. I believe it's a puller fan. I believe these are puller fans that go this way. Get rid of that fan clutch. That fan clutch, when you're sitting in traffic, it is not locked up. It is just free spinning. It's not cooling. It locks up, at least on this car. It's supposed to lock up at, I don't know, like something like, it's either 1500 RPM or 3000 RPM. It's like when you're going, it locks up, you know. So yeah, I want to get rid of that. It's a brand new fan clutch too, you know. brand new everything in the cooling system. Drive you crazy. But yeah, you know, you can just chase your tail. If you got one of these that has these weird overheating issues during the summertime when it really gets hot and your air conditioning goes on and you're stop and go traffic, you could replace everything and it'll help, but it can still do that, you know. So investigate a modern electric fan that will just pull the heat out of this whole thing. And then there's another thing. The second thing is the voltage drop, and I believe the voltage drop is that compressor is old. It still works. It's not cooling, but I think it's old and it's drawing too much. Now, if you replace the existing cooling fan thing here and upgrade it with electric fans, you're gonna have to upgrade the alternator. I think this one is, this is an 80 amp. You got to go to like 100, 125 amp, 150 amp alternator to be able to power these fans, this fan, the compressor. Compressor draws a ton, and you got to upgrade the alternator, but you have to get the wires, you have to increase the size of the wiring for the alternator. There's I forget, there's some wires on it. Off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of it, but there's I've read you've got to increase the diameter of that alternator wire. So the existing wire, if you up the amps, the existing wire doesn't get toasted, you know. So there's that. Anyways, that's about it. It's got brand new tires. Anyways, have fun with your car, and I know there's always something, you know, with 30-year-old cars, but it was kind of like a hobby, you know. It's a satisfaction of doing things yourself. You go take this to a mechanic, they're not, and nowadays they're, what is this? A Model T? I only work with scanners. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna put it cover back on. Write down on my board. I write down when I drove it last. what I did. Anything weird, I'll write down. Light out, light came on. But other than that, it runs fantastic, and it handles just, they drive so nice, you know. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good summer.